How's it going, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to another Locals feature match. This one is a few weeks old, but again, I'm just getting to trying to finally finish all of the matches that I have left over to try to get you guys the most up-to-date ones. There's still some matches that I have featuring some really cool decks, like one being Dragon Maids, that I do want to get out to you guys soon, so be looking forward to that. But here we have Madolche Dogmatika versus Invoked Dogmatika. If you couldn't tell already at this point, there's quite a bit of Dogmatika at my locals. All sorts of variants from Eldritch, Madolche, Invoked, etc., etc. So, things getting started here with Upstart into Alistair, and there is an infinite impermanence, which is always good to have. And our Invoke player makes a pretty unfortunate mistake here. Yep, reminding him that you did play that Pot of Desires in the same column as my impermanence was activated in. So, yeah, definitely something he didn't intend to do, that's for sure. Sure would have liked to have not just banished the top 10 cards from his deck for no reason, but hey, these things do happen at the end of the day. It is, you know, as they say, what it is. So, moving forward, looking to play that Nadir Servant in a other column that isn't the same one as Alistair. So we can get that, Entis to the graveyard to grab a Search of Ecclesia. And he's going to remove that Messenger Lotto with that Entis to search Madolche off that ticket. And realizing he can't special summon Ecclesia here, so he will just decide to set one. And it looks like that's going to do it for his turn. He's going to normal summon Madolche and attempt to activate the effect. It looks like he will not have a response, so he's going to go ahead and be able to get Angeli here. And it looks like our Invoked Dogmatic player also did have Triple Tactics Talent in hand, which is a pretty good card, for, playing around and against hand traps, I suppose. But what's interesting there is it doesn't, do too much against what is possibly the best hand trap in the entire game currently, and that is Infinite Impermanence. We're going to see an Ice Dragon's Prison here to banish both the Angeli and the Petting Cessor, I believe, and clear 2 cards just off of that one Ice Dragon's Prison. Ice Dragon's Prison, again, another card that's come up recently in this format for being a very, very good just generic trap card, providing some good removal, specifically because it does banish, and I believe it also does not target, and also can, remove a threat from the graveyard as well. So we're going to try again here with another copy of Alistair that I think you might have ripped off the top, but Forbidden Droplet says otherwise. He's going to remove the Madolche from the field and negate it, and he can't respond with monsters, so he's just going to go ahead and link into Almirage and then follow into Secure Garna. Does he have Invocation? He does not. But this time around, he will be able to get that Ecclesia onto the field and grab Maximus as a result. Probably looking to go ahead and, get something like Apgalone to the graveyard maybe here, and possibly something like Titaniclad. So you can get that end phase search of something like Fleur-de-Lis, and also maybe set up that classic Skizzy play. We'll see what our Invoked Dogmatika, or our Invoked Madolche, or Dogmatika Madolche, excuse me. Dogmatika Madolche player is going to send here. It seems like a deck that might have some extra space. Well, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's a Dogmatika deck, so he's going to be able to send an Entis and a Titaniclad of his own. Zoned out there for a second. I'm like, what's Madolche going to send? But it is a Dogmatika Madolche deck. Only threw me off a little bit because we haven't seen any of his Dogmatika engine as of yet. So looks like the Hoot Cake is going to be cleared off the board, and going to discard the Ash off of the Apgalone, or is he going to be ashing? Yeah, he's going to be discarding the Ash off of the Apgalone here, because he has yet to do so for the Apgalone, of course, after he has searched the Schism. And he's going to be able to search Hoot Cake here off of Ticket, thankfully. And then he's going to be able to attempt to try to play Triple Tactics Talent here, and he's going to draw 2 more cards. And just going to go ahead and set all 3 of them. And it looks like that is going to do it until we're going to see our Madolche player here grab Ecclesia from the deck off the Titaniclad, because remember, he's resolving a Titaniclad of his own here. And that Ecclesia is going to search Maximus. Probably try to get some Entis plays going for his next turn here. To maybe clear out some of those back row. But we're going to see Shaddoll Schism. This is his first move here. Hasn't even attempted to make a special summon yet, but he's not going to wait to let him go any further. And just possibly try to get a Winda on the field. Or perhaps maybe a Construct, but he's going to go for Construct. And not Winda here, which is a pretty interesting choice. I mean, granted, he does not have Alistair in hand, so he wouldn't really have a good way to protect it in the battle phase per se, but you know, I don't know how you would necessarily out the Winda here under normal circumstances playing Madolche Dogmatika. The Maximus I don't think helps you either because, of course, you know, Entis does destroy and when it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So, but we're going to see Trap Trick here for Infinite Impermanence, which is great. Nothing like adding a little extra monster interruption to your board mid-combo. And he's going to go ahead and use that Imperm on that Hoot Cake. Accidentally revealing another Ice Dragon's Prison here. So a pretty trap-heavy build, perhaps, of Invoked Dogmatika. And I think it can definitely work because I feel like it is more of a control-based strategy. You know, especially with the Shaddoll engine in there and everything. But one thing I wanted to go back to earlier is a card, you know, talking about Infinite Impermanence and Triple Tactics Talent, is one card I think that has a lot of merit this format, you know, especially a card like Forbidden Lance. Because it is one of those cards that can play through Infinite Impermanence, and not to mention things like Dark Ruler No More. And also, obviously, Forbidden Droplet if they do not have, you know, a spell to send off. Which, you know, in some cases, you know, some decks aren't. Most decks will be using, like, excess monsters on their field to clear, you know, cards, to negate cards to keep going. But, you know, having that card like Forbidden Lance in some situations that, you know, a nice counterplay card to Impermanence, since there really isn't a counter out there to it. Like Lance, I mean, I guess you could argue that Eagle Booster could be, but, you know, Forbidden Lance is a little bit more accessible. But either way, getting back to the game here. Entis, and it looks like double Entis being activated. Being able to remove 2 cards, the Schism and the Ecclesia, I believe. And we're going to see Fleur de Lis hit the board. It's going to negate Mechaba. Or not Mechaba, rather, but the Construct, because that will be a bit problematic in the battle phase specifically, because its effect to destroy anything it attacks that was special summoned. Secure Garna will get run over. And we're going to start seeing some damage get took here. Fleur de Lis attacking over that Construct for 200 points of damage. Because again, when it attacks, when it declares an attack, it can make all Dogmatikas gain 500 attack. And that is permanent. And just sorting some things out here with like what looks to be Schism. And I think now that all the damage has been done, I don't think he'll be able to get over the Mechaba here. Ecclesia is only going to be able to get up to 2,000. Maximus is not going to be strong enough. And neither is Hoot Cake. It looks like he's going to set 1 card and end his turn. And not the best field here for our Madolche Dogmatika player, but he does have a pretty nice sized board. And if he doesn't do anything about it this turn, he's probably going to lose in the battle phase. On the following turn, he does have a Fleur de Lis. He's able to get that onto the field, which is great. Won't be able to negate anything, but really doesn't need to worry about doing so. And attacking that Fleur de Lis to try to remove it. He's going to attempt to Imperm the Mechaba. And that will happen. And the Fleur de Lis are going to crash. And deciding now what he wants to attack over now with the Mechaba. His options are either Maximus. You can technically get over anything there. So he's actually going to go ahead and get over that Maximus, because that could be a problem definitely next turn. And now we're going to see the Omega return the Entis back to the extra deck, which is great. Definitely a card you want to put back to the extra deck, you know, with its ability to be used multiple times in a turn. And there's the normal summon of Angeli, which is huge to have here. And he's going to go ahead and tribute that off to go ahead and summon, I believe the Petting Cessor would be next. Or we're going to go for Messenger Lotto here. Attempt to activate that effect. No cards in hand here, so Mechaba isn't going to be able to do too much. I think he might still have a Ice Dragon's Prison set, but I don't think that's going to do enough to save him here. Looks like he's going to go ahead and grab Chateau. And Chateau is going to be basically be able to, you know, any card that would be added back to the deck, I think gets added to the hand instead. But he's going to actually grab Madolche Salon. Salon does grant an additional normal summon of a Madolche and can also, I believe, set Madolche spells and traps from deck upon the resolution of an effect. I believe. I'm not sure of the exact, you know, clause of it, but we're going to see Ice Dragon's Prison now. And actually, no. It looks like there might have been a little situation there with Hoot Cake. And Hoot Cake might not target the monster that it's banishing. So if you tried to perhaps remove the target there with the Ice Dragon's Prison, it might not have made too big of a difference. So he's just not even going to bother with it there. And he's going to summon Tiramisu. And now he's going to go ahead and use that Ice Dragon's Prison to banish both the Angeli and that Tiramisu, because you literally have to at that point. And now he's going to slap down Chateau, recycling all the Madolche monsters in the grave back into the deck. And that's going to trigger both Ticket and Salon to go ahead and grab a Search of a Madolche. And he's going to be able to set one from deck, and he's going to grab the Promenade, I believe, which is basically like an impermanence, more like a breakthrough skill, I guess, for Madolches. Basically can shuffle one back from the grave and then negate a monster. It does not destroy, I don't believe. I've had the opportunity to play against that card a few times. Pretty interesting little negate to get from the deck, and kind of similar to that of Madolche Knights, which is also a card that they can get from the deck as well. I mean, it also happens to be a counter trap that negates only monster effects, but it's basically similar to that of like Galatea, but in sort of a spell form, I guess. So very, very good card to have. And I believe it's also one of their newer cards that they have access in the deck now. So now going to link into Madolche Fresh Sistart. It says, while this card points to a Madolche monster, Madolche spells and traps you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can target them with card effects. So it's a pretty good card here. He's got a lot of spells and traps now on the field. So holding on to them is definitely going to be worthwhile. Especially, you know, when you have a Brilliant Fusion type card on your side of the field that is granting you an additional normal summon. So he's now going to take advantage of the other effect of Sistart. Since his opponent did attempt to run it over in the battle phase, he can shuffle one back from the deck, and that's going to trigger the, you know, the Chateau to add it back to his hand. That's going to trigger Ticket. It's going to trigger Salon, and everything is just sort of cascading out of control now. He's going to set one, and that's going to do it for his turn. And there's the normal summon of Angeli, the one that he was basically able just to put back into his hand for free because of the whole, you know, Ticket, Chateau combo. He's going to go into Glass Souffle, into Chocolate a la mode, and throw that Ecclesia into attack position. And again, all Madolches are being boosted by 500 attack and defense. And it looks like after everything is all said and done, that is going to be game. And we're going to head into game 2. And as we do, I want to mention a few ways you guys can support the channel to help me keep doing what it is that I do. First of all, if you guys are interested in picking up any amazing playmats, sleeves, dice, deck boxes, binders, you name it, check out Imperium Duelist. They've been a sponsor of this channel for a long time, and they sell some amazing products that you guys can get for 10% off using my discount code WINNERKILLS10OFF. A link to their site can be found in the description. Of course, that discount code will give you 10% off at checkout on your entire order. And if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, please do remember to use my affiliate link. It pretty much asks nothing else of you guys. You just use that link while you shop and check out, and a small bit of the revenue from whatever your purchase ends up being will go into, you know, back into the channel, which is absolutely an incredible way to help out. So those are just a few ways to support, alongside perhaps hitting the join button If you hit that button, you guys will see, a few little bits of perks and rewards you guys can get in on. Early deck profiles, your name at the end of every video, and other behind-the-scenes photos and things like that of upcoming projects and video ideas and things like that. So mail days as well. So yeah, just a few ways to support the channel. So as you can see here, Invoked Dogmatika wanting to go first here. But Madolche Dogmatika also really wanting to go second. Resolving that Maximus here in Game 2 is a little risky, as it has allowed him to fire off an Entis and a Titaniclad of his own. And that's going to bait out the Mechaba, so it'll force at least one card out of his hand. And the Ecclesia getting summoned in the end phase to search Fleur-de-Lis, which is a great card to have, of course, to potentially shut down this Mechaba as well, to make sure he cannot negate and banish one of his cards during this next turn. So he's going to go ahead and draw for turn, and we're going to see him fire off that Shaddoll Schism. Does he have the out for it, ladies and gentlemen? Does he have the droplet? Does he have, a way to Fleur-de-Lis it and also, bait that Mechaba? Because if he's got a monster in hand, he can negate it and banish it. So there's the crucial moment, and he does not have it. Well, he does have a Fleur-de-Lis, actually. Is he going to do it? Will he burn the Fleur-de-Lis, or his Fleur-de-Lis of his own to use the Mechaba? And he will. So that is it. That's the one special summon. And, Mechaba says no. And then Madolche tries to come down. And it looks like he's going to send off what looks like to be an Entis. I can't really see it right now. It is off camera. But either way, it is going to clear the Madolche alone, that Dogmatika punishment. He will still get to search Hootcake. So yeah, it looks like he did send Entis. Because that Ecclesia is also leaving the field. So how will he follow up now at this point? Does he have the Forbidden Drippy Droppy? He doesn't, but he does have Madolche Salon, which does grant an additional normal summon of a Madolche monster. So it's going to get him Hootcake, and he's going to banish Hootcake and summon Messengelado from the deck. I am a little confused. Well, I guess technically the Fleur-de-Lis never actually got to be special summoned because it activates in hand, so that would explain why the Messengelado is still hitting the field. So pardon me, I did mention that a bit incorrectly. So he didn't wait for him basically for the Fleur-de-Lis to get on field because it activates in hand. So technically didn't burn his one special summon there, but he's still able to get what looked to be Madolche Promenade, get a Messengelado out in the field. So it's not like he wasn't able to do anything at all here. And we'll see if he's able to close out this game here. He does have a Winda, which at this point is actually going to be working against him. Keeping him from being able to do what it is that he really wants to do this turn, and that's close out the game. So he's going to go ahead and attack over that Messengelado. Remember, they're all up by 500 because of Chateau, making that Messengelado actually at 2,100. And so, yeah, he's not going to take as much damage as you would expect. And I believe Hootcake is also at 2,000 because of the Chateau. So he just really needs to get a big Madolche monster on field, and he could possibly try to even bead over this window without even using a special summon, just a normal summon. And Chateau coming in clutch to help recycle all those Madolches that would get shuffled back into the deck, and instead they're going to go back into his hand. And now we're going to see that Maximus fire off once more. Looks like he's sending off an Entis and a Titaniclad. At least that's what it looked to be. And our other Dogmatika player sending 2 more copies of Entis. Unfortunately, he will not be able to remove the Winda, but he is able to remove the Mechaba. And it looks like a set, or not the set, the ticket getting removed from the Entis of his own. So we're going to see Madolche get normal summoned. And that is going to add a Madolche monster from deck to hand. So we'll see what he's going to go ahead and grab here. So grabbing a level 4 here could be, you know, ideal. He just does need to get over this this window right now. Normally, Alistair in your head, you know, you're thinking is a problem, especially when getting over it in the battle phase. Yes, that 500 attack boost is nice. But, you know, having some other form of removal and non-destruction is great. But he's going to be able to get that additional normal summon to be able to access Tiramisu. Salon is coming in so clutch here to give him an additional normal to be able to get into Tiramisu to make his first special summon, Tiramisu. And that's going to bounce that Winda back and to shuffle that Maximus back into the deck as well. So Solon really solving that Winda problem here because, you know, he does have very good rank 4 access, but, you know, in most cases in you know, standard Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, to get to a rank 4, that usually means you're going to normal summon one level 4 and get the other level 4 on board via special summon. And at that point, of course, Winda says you've already used your one special summon. No more special summoning for you. But Solon coming in absolutely clutch here. And the fact that he didn't remove that Winda kind of came in clutch as well. Because, you know, he basically locked his opponent out of going completely bonkers on his next turn. Not that I don't even think he had the resources to really do that to OTK. So the fact that the Salon was able to stick around alongside that at the Chateau really did wonders here for this turn. And, you know, Mageline coming in very, very clutch to basically help complete that other level 4, the most optimal level 4 that he could have wanted. And we're going to see Ecclesia is going to grab Maximus. And that Chocolate a la Mode is sitting at 3k because of Chateau. And we're going to see Maximus banish an Entis, summon itself to the board. And he's just going to swing in with everything. And that's probably going to drop him pretty low. Maximus, I believe, has 15. So that's about 6,000 damage total as he goes ahead and passes turn. It looks like he picks up a copy of Invocation. Does he have something to stop it? It looks like he does not. So this could guarantee a Mechaba right here. And that's exactly what he's going to go for. But he can't get over that Chocolate a la Mode without having to discard that Alistair. And discarding the Alistair is fine, but it does mean, you know, you're going to basically give up that in-hand guaranteed monster negate and things like that. But I guess it doesn't matter because he hasn't normal summoned yet. So he's going to go ahead and make an Agodes here, and he does have Meltdown up. So he's going to use this effect on summon here. He's not going to be able to respond to it, which is pretty huge. And that's what it looks like what he's going to do. And he's going to clear that Chocolate a la Mode. And now has a potential pretty big beat stick on the field with that Invoked Agodes. He just has a Fusion engraved to banish, which I don't think he does. Which is a little unfortunate. So he's going to attack into the Maximus for 1,000. And the Agodes is going to hit over for 500. And the Ecclesia is going to stick around because, well, it cannot be destroyed by battle by a monster summoned from the extra deck. So we're going to see another Mageline here. I believe perhaps the same one, thanks to that Chateau. But yeah, that Invocation was a massive top deck. And the fact that he was able to get the Mechaba onto the field and then, you know, already have that Alistair set up to be banished, you know, because it was already in the grave. You know, to be able to recycle it back, then normal summon it, and then get access to another fusion. That was very, very good. But that means his Alistair at this point is still banished, so he does not have one in hand still to be able to protect it here. So we're going to see him get basically blown out here by Tiramisu, shuffling everything back. And by shuffle back, I mean put it to the hand. And now he's going to resolve Salon to go ahead and grab the Pudding Cessor, and he's just going absolutely bonkers right here. And our Invoked Dogmatika player is going to concede as Madolche Dogmatika, seemingly the better variant here, taking this match 2-0. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily better, but it did deal with Winda pretty well because of Madolche Salon. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did, and let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Don't forget to join my Discord and check out all the other ways you can support the channel down in the description. And yeah, as always, WinterKill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And of course, as always, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members here on YouTube, Academic Thick, Zors, and Cadillacs84. Thank you guys so much for your continued generous support.